Wait, we will start within a few of minutes.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Hello. So currently I'm doing chapter number, which is motion in a straight line. Okay, motion in a straight line. So have you done this chapter?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm waiting for a irregular student, which is just she will join, I think, within few of minutes. So so have you completed this chapter, motion in a straight line?
Yes.
Okay. So and next chapter, which is motion in a plane,
Yes, that too.
that you also finished.
Yes.
Okay. And what about force? So how much
That
levels?
too.
That too.
Yes.
So how much levels did you cover up to now?
We completed till systems in a particle.
System of particle. Okay. Okay. But currently I'm doing chapter number 3, which is motion in a straight line. So wait for a few minutes. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Hello. So so I'm starting from chapter number 3. I will give you a quick revision. Okay. All the things. And if I find if in any concept which have you trouble, then I will discuss it in deep. Otherwise, I will skip and uh, I will discuss the next concept. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So let me start from chapter number 3, because it's your first class and you are very new to me, and I don't know how much you know. Okay. So chapter 3, which is basically motion in a straight line. Okay. So motion in a straight line, it says about motion in one dimension. Okay. So in a straight line means the body is moving only in one dimension. It's moving in only in X direction. Okay. Or it moves on Y direction. Something like here, Y direction. Okay. So this is all about motion in a straight line. So the chapter starts with some basic concepts about distance, displacement. Okay. So do you have any idea what is the difference between distance and displacement? Okay. So tell me something about what is distance and displacement. Anything what you know?
Distance is from one point to the another.
Okay. And displacement? Okay. So distance we called basically distance we called it's the actual length covered by the particle or body. Suppose a particle starts its journey from A, it reaches to point somewhere here, and it again comes back to point somewhere here. Okay. Then how much distance is covered? It's from A to C to B. So the total length which is covered by the particle is basically distance, and here it is AC plus CB. Okay. So this is all about your distance. And the next thing, which is displacement. If we talk about displacement about this motion, if a particle goes from A to C and it comes back to C to B, then distance is AC plus CB. But here displacement, if we talk about displacement, then it's the shortest distance between 2 points. Okay. So it is the shortest path. Okay. And here the shortest path, if a particle goes from A to C and C to B. So here displacement is AB. Okay. So you can say that the distance is basically greater than or equal to displacement. It never less than displacement. Okay. Some points, important point, distance is a scalar quantity. It's a scalar. It's a scalar, and displacement is a vector. Okay. I will briefly discuss what is scalar and vector in next chapter, which is motion in a plane. But here I'm only giving something about, because the motion is only in one direction. So here you don't have any trouble to assuming vector, because if a quantity is moving in forward direction, then we take its positive sign, and if a body moves in backward direction, then we take negative sign. Okay. So in this way we define the direction. Okay. So 2 points. The distance is a length of actual path, and displacement is the shortest path. Okay, shortest path. I'm writing the definition. It is the shortest path measured in the direction from initial to final point. Okay, any question?
No.
Okay. So if you know, if you know all these things, then tell me. I can skip. Okay, but if you're not very familiar with these concepts, okay, then I will discuss in more briefly. But if you know, then tell me. I will skip that part. Okay.
Okay.
So displacement may be positive or negative. Displacement that's the important point. May be positive, negative, or zero. Okay. So distance may be positive, negative, or zero. But distance is always positive. Okay. It may be zero, but distance never negative. Okay. But displacement can be positive, negative, or zero. How displacement can positive, negative, basically. So I'm discussing three cases. The first case, when a particle moves, suppose this is origin and a point here origin to A, and a particle travels from A to B, okay, and from O to A, the distance is x1, and from O to B, the distance is x2. Okay. So in this case, the displacement is initial point is A and final point is B. Okay. So you take displacement final position minus initial position. What is the final position? It's OB. Final position is OB minus initial position is OA. OB minus OA. Okay. What is the value of OB? The value of OB is x2. And what is the value of OA here? It's x1. Okay. So in this case, you can see the x2 minus x1, x2 minus x1, x2 is a large value, no? X1 is a small value. So here this value is positive. This value is positive. So in this case, your displacement is positive in the direction from A to B. What is the direction of displacement here? A to B. Positive, and the direction from A to B. Okay, is it clear?
Yes.
In the next part, I'm going to discuss what is negative displacement. So negative displacement, suppose a part origin is situated here and particle start its journey now this time from A. Now I'm taking A here, A to B. A to B. Okay, A to B. And again, the value from O to A is x2, and now this time O to B is x1. Okay, and the initial point is A and the final point is B. Okay, initial point is A. Here the initial point at this point, here initial point is at here. So in this case, displacement, okay, the formula is final minus initial. What is the final point? It's B. Okay, it starts journey from here and it reaches to here. So in this case, the displacement is it's O final, which is B minus OA. OB minus OA. And here, what is the value of OB? The value of OB is x1. And what is the value of OA? It's x2. Okay. And as you know, x1 is less than x2. This value x1 is less than x2. So this value must be negative. Okay. This value must be negative. So, and the direction is again A to B. Okay. So in this case, you will get the negative answer. Negative value of displacement is nothing but it's towards origin. And in the first case, the particle moving away from origin. Okay. And the third case in which you will get zero displacement. Do you have any example, any idea at in which case you will get zero displacement? Huh? Okay. So when a particle starts its journey, suppose this particle starts its journey from O and it goes to A. Okay. A. If particle starts its journey from O and reaches to A, and again it starts its journey from O and comes back to A. Okay. So in a complete cycle, when a particle starts from O, it reaches to A and again return back to O. Okay. Then in this case, displacement is zero. In this case, the displacement is 0. So, okay, is it clear? So displacement is basically final minus initial. And if the initial point and final point are same, so displacement is 0. Displacement is OA minus OA, which is 0. Another example, suppose a particle starts its journey from a point A and it goes like this thing, this thing, this thing, this thing, and again it finishes its journey at this point. So in this case, displacement is 0. Okay. In this case, displacement is 0. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. So next, these are basically two concepts related to displacement. Now I'm going to discuss what is speed and velocity. Okay. Speed and velocity. Velocity. Okay. Speed and velocity. So how you define speed? Speed is a basically rate of change of position of any object with time. So how you define speed? Speed is basically the rate of change of position. It's the rate of change of position. It's the rate of change of position of an object with time. Object with time. With time. Okay. So how you define speed? Basically, speed is a distance traveled. Distance traveled divided by total time. Total time. Okay. So total distance upon total time, that's the formula for speed. And it's a scalar quantity. Speed is a scalar quantity. And next thing, its SI unit is, what is the SI unit of speed? It's a meter per second. Meter per second. Okay. And now let's talk about dimension. So dimension of speed is LT minus 1. Okay. These are all important point about speed. Okay. So there is another formula for speed. It's V. We denote the magnitude of velocity, which is speed. V as basically the change in position, which is the total distance covered, divided by change in time, which is denoted as delta x divided by delta t. So this speed we call basically average speed. This speed we call basically average speed. Okay. So take a note. This part is important. If you are already done this part, then we can go to the next concept. Okay. Are you taking notes or?
Yes, I'm taking notes.
Okay.
I'm writing them all down.
Take a note. Then I will discuss what is velocity.
Just a minute.
Yeah, then I will discuss what is velocity. This is all about speed.
Okay. You can start with us
Okay.
on my side.
Done.
Yes.
Okay. So now the next part which I'm going to discuss is velocity. Okay, velocity. 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 Okay. So velocity is basically it has a direction. No? Speed don't have any direction. Velocity have a direction. Okay. So before going to speed, one more point which I forget to discuss: instantaneous speed. This is average speed, and next is instantaneous speed. Wait a second. Yeah, instantaneous speed. Okay. So one is average speed, another is instantaneous speed. So instantaneous speed is a speed of an object at a particular time, particular instant of time. Okay. So the definition is says the speed of an particular speed of an object, not particular, speed of an object at particular instant of time, at particular instant of time. Okay. So this is all about, this is the definition of instantaneous speed, and we define instantaneous speed V instantaneous, which is basically the actual formula of speed. Whenever you find written anywhere in speed, then it's basically instantaneous speed. Okay. And it is mentioned that the average speed, but you will never find anywhere written instantaneous speed. Whenever it's speed, then it considered as instantaneous speed. Okay. So instantaneous speed is basically, it's a speed at a particular time, and that is basically defined by dx over dt. Dx over dt. Okay. This is instantaneous speed. So average is all about the taking average of all the speed, but instantaneous speed, the speed at a particular moment. So suppose, for example, suppose you start a journey from point A and you travel from A to B. Okay, on any vehicle or anything. Okay, so when you start your journey from A and you reaches to B, so in this journey, every point you have different speed. Suppose at this moment at point A it's 0. When you start at point B, C, suppose you are moving with 5 meters per second. Okay. And in another point somewhere here, your speed is like 10 meters per second. And again, you find some traffic and you reduces your speed like 2 meters per second, something like that. Okay. So when you take average of all this speed, then it's a average speed. But at a particular second, at suppose this is t is equals to 2 seconds, this is t is equals to 8 seconds, okay, and this is t is equals to suppose 20 seconds. Okay. So when I ask what is your speed at a particular instant of time, suppose that t is equals to 20 seconds, then its value is instantaneous speed. Okay. So this can be found by this formula v is equals to dx over dt. This is the speed of a particle at an instant of time, and average means taking the average of all the speeds in the entire journey. Okay, is it clear, the concept? Okay, or any doubt?
No, no doubts.
Okay, so next part is velocity. Okay, so velocity is basically, it's a change of position of any object within a given direction. Okay. So rate of change of position of a object is defined as speed, but if you add a particular direction, then it defined as velocity. So the rate of change of position position of an object with time of an object with time in a given direction. Okay, it's called velocity. So velocity is basically, we define velocity is equal to displacement over time. It's a displacement divided by time. Okay, and velocity is a vector quantity. Suppose, as we discussed, distance is a scalar, displacement is a vector, speed is a scalar, and velocity is a vector quantity. So velocity is a vector quantity. Okay, velocity is a vector quantity. And same as speed, first I'm going to discuss what is average velocity. Average velocity. We define average velocity with V average is equals to it's a total displacement upon total time. Total displacement divided by total time. So that can be represented with x2 minus x1 divided by t2 minus t1. Okay, so change in position in a particular direction is displacement and divided by total time. So that is basically delta x in vector form divided by delta v. Formula is same for both velocity and speed, but the only difference is that in velocity you are taking speed in a particular direction. Okay, so the formula for average velocity is x2 minus x1 divided by t2 minus t1 is equals to delta x divided by delta t. Okay, so take a note, write the important points. Okay, then I will discuss what is instantaneous velocity.
Yes.
Yeah, take a notes. When you finish, then tell me.
I'm done, sir. Taking notes.
Yes, you are done. Now next part is instantaneous velocity. Yeah, instantaneous velocity. Velocity. So instantaneous velocity is again, it's a velocity at a particular time, at a particular moment. So that is basically defined as v, that is equal to limit. Don't write to add concept of this limit. It's v is equals to, you can directly write dx over dt. Okay, so it is the velocity of an object. It's a velocity of an object at a particular instant of time. At a particular instant of time, that is velocity is your instantaneous velocity. Okay, so in a uniform motion, basically average velocity is same as instantaneous velocity. Okay, and I'm going to do one numerical on this concept. Up to now, what we have studied is distance. What is distance? What is displacement? What is the speed? And what is velocity? Okay, in speed, we discussed what is average speed and instantaneous speed, and in velocity, we discussed what is average velocity and instantaneous velocity. Okay, and up to now, there is there any question?
No, sir.
Okay, so let's do a problem. So the question is, question base is based on one concept, that if a particle starts its journey from A and it reaches to point B, okay, and suppose the distance from A to B is x, small x, and when particle goes from A to B, then it has a speed v1 is a v1 only, it's v1. Okay, so when particle moves A to B, it has speed v1. Okay, and again when particle returns from B to A, and when a particle returns from B to A, then in this case it has a speed v2. Okay, and again when goes from B to A, then with speed v2. Okay, so what will be the average speed? So the problem is, what will be the average speed? Okay, so how you define average speed? Is average speed V average. What is the formula for V average? Is a total, it's a total distance divided by total time. It's a total distance divided by total time. Total distance.
So the answer is 0, I guess.
No, the answer is not 0. Total time. Okay. Because here I'm talking about speed, it's not velocity.
Oh,
Okay, so this is a very important case for average, to finding the average speed. Most of the time this problem can be asked in your examination or in your schools. Okay, so total distance divided by total time. So in this case, what is total distance? A particle goes from A to B and it again returns at A. So what is total distance in this case? Can you tell me what is the answer? Total distance?
v1 plus v2.
No, it's a total speed. I'm talking about total distance. The distance from A to B is x, and again the distance from B to A is again x plus x. Okay, and divide by total time. So when object reaches B and start from journey A to B, and suppose it takes time t1, okay, and when it return back B to A, then its time is t2. Both time are different. Why? Because the speed are different. Okay, so this is the formula. But here, what is the value of t1? T1 you can find. T1 is basically the distance divided by time, distance divided by speed. So what is the distance here? X. And what is the speed here? v1. And the time t2 is again distance covered by particle is x, and the speed of the particle is v2. Is it clear up to now, or any doubt?
No, it's clear.
No, it's fine. Then you can find the formula. So here V average is equals to x plus x is 2x, and if I put t1 t2 here, so what is the value of t1 is x by v1 and plus x by v2. So here you can find, you can take common out x. So here you will get 1 upon v1 plus 1 upon v2. And here you can cancel out this xx. Then here 2 divide by, if I take LCM, then v1 plus v2 divide by v1 into v2. So here the formula for V average is 2 v1 v2 divided by v1 plus v2. Okay. So take a note of this formula. So here V average is equals to 2 v1 v2 v1 plus v2. Okay, so a lot of numerical can be asked over this concept. Okay, are you taking notes or you're done?
No, I'm taking notes right now.
Take a note. This is important formula about to finding v average. It's the average when the distance is same. The distance is same. Suppose distance is different, then the concept will change. But this is a case for when distance is same and speed is different. Okay.
I'm done.
Okay. So let's do a numerical on this concept. The question is, a body travels from A to B. Body travels from A to B at 40 meter per second speed. Okay, and returns B to A and returns B to A at the speed 60 meter per second. Okay, calculate the average speed and average velocity. Calculate the average speed and average velocity. This is the problem. Okay, so what is the language of this question? It says that a particle starts its journey from A and it reaches to B. Okay, with a speed v1 is equals to 40 meter per second, and it again comes back from B to A with a speed v2 is equals to 60 meter per second, and you have to find what is the average speed. Okay, can you find it? The formula is same. V average is equals to 2v1 speed, the average speed, So what you have to do, you just have to put v1 into v2 in this formula, which is 2 v1 v2 divided by v1 plus v2. So what's your answer? It's 2 into 40 into 60 divided by 40 plus 60. Okay, it's 40 plus 60. Okay.
Yes, I'm calculating right now.
Find it, then I will give you the answer. You just have to calculate this value.
Forty-eight.
48 meter per second is its average speed, 48 meter per second. And what is the average velocity? Average velocity. Do you have any idea what is average velocity? The average velocity is basically zero because the definition says that it's a displacement divided by time. And in this case, a particle starts is generally from A and again it returns back at this point A.
Yes, so there's no
So,
displacement.
so displacement is basically zero. So that's why the answer is zero. Okay, now it's very clear to you all the things.
Yes.
Okay. So now next part I'm going to discuss what is acceleration. What is acceleration? What is acceleration? Okay. So acceleration. Acceleration. Okay. So acceleration, the definition says that it's the rate of change of velocity of an object with time. The rate of change, the rate of change of velocity of an object with time. With time. Okay, it's called acceleration. So acceleration is basically defined as change in velocity divided by time. Acceleration is equal to change in velocity, change in velocity divided by total time taken. Okay, total time taken. So acceleration is basically how velocity changes. Okay, when you move in a car and your velocity increasing, okay, then it has a positive acceleration. And if velocity is velocity is decreasing, then at that point acceleration is your negative. And if velocity is constant, then your acceleration is zero. Okay, if you are sitting in a car and car is moving, accelerating, positive acceleration, then you feel some kind of force, okay, in backward direction. Okay, so acceleration is a vector quantity. Acceleration is a vector quantity. Acceleration is a vector quantity. It's a unit. What is the unit of acceleration? Is meter per second square. Okay, and what are the dimension? If we talk about dimension, then it's it's LT minus 2, not M here, it's LT minus 2. These are dimension of acceleration. Okay. So now next part. Okay. I think there is no point. Are you writing any point or I should?
Yes, I'm noting them all down.
Okay, I'm waiting. Tell me when you finished.
Yes, I'm done.
Okay, so here again, as I discussed in velocity, average and instantaneous velocity, here I'm going to discuss what is average acceleration. Average acceleration. Acceleration. So average acceleration is nothing but it's A average is equals to change in velocity v2 minus v1 divided by time taken t2 minus t1. That is defined as delta v upon delta t. So this is the formula for v average, A average, acceleration average. Okay, and if we talk about instantaneous acceleration, when we talk about instantaneous acceleration, instantaneous acceleration. So instantaneous acceleration can be defined as A instant is equal to it's a dv by dt. dv by dt. So average is delta v over delta t, and instantaneous is dv by dt. Okay, so this part comes from differentiation, and this is all about the change. Okay, A instantaneous is dv by dt. Let me put a vector over here. Okay, and again vector, vector, and vector. That is a vector form. So again, I put vector here. Okay. Now we finished all the things related to speed, distance, displacement, speed, velocity, and acceleration. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So if acceleration is positive, for positive acceleration, velocity increases. Velocity increases. Okay. And for negative acceleration, for negative acceleration, what happened? Velocity will decrease. Velocity will decrease. Okay. So that is we call negative acceleration. We also call this as retardation or deceleration. This we call basically retardation. This we called retardation. Okay. So next part I'm going to discuss is some part of mathematical point, something like differentiation and integration. Okay, so that you are able to do problems on this concept, when a function, a displacement or distance is a function of time, and you have to find some velocity or acceleration. So for that you required some tools, which is differentiation and integration. Are you familiar with the integration and differentiation? Hello?
Not much.
Not much. So I will discuss in very easy way, not very hard. So differentiation So differentiation is basically to measure the change, the rate of change of any quantity. So for that we require to differentiate it. Suppose velocity is changing with time, position is changing with time. So for that case we require differentiation. Okay. To measure rate of change. Okay, how something is changing with respect to another thing. How position is changing with respect to time, how velocity is changing with respect to time. Okay, so all this change, when you measure this change, then you required a mathematical tool which we called differentiation. Okay, so suppose there is only one formula which I'm going to tell for differentiation. There is only one formula which I'm going to tell you for differentiation, and that will be more than sufficient. Only one formula. So the formula is, suppose if a function y is equals to x raised the power n. Okay, so in this case dy by dx is equal to n x raised the power n minus 1. This is the only formula which I'm going to tell, and that is enough for this chapter or further chapters. Okay, so this is the only formula. Okay, write it down, then I will discuss some other format of this formula. Okay,
Sir, is that x raised to r or is it
no,
n?
it's n.
Okay.
It's n. X raised the power n. Okay, so here dy by dx is equals to n x ki power n minus 1. So here the power basically reduces when you differentiate y with respect to x. So how you read it? It's this part is basically we call differentiation of y with respect to x, or you can also read it as the change in y with respect to x. It's a rate of change of y with respect to x. Okay, so this is a function. Suppose the next case, suppose if somebody changes the function here, y is equals to x raised the power n. Suppose I give you x is equals to t raised the power n. Formula is same. Okay, only just I switches some functions. Here y is equals to x raised to the power n. Here suppose position depends on time with power n. So what will be the value of dx over dt? Can you tell me? What is the value of dx dt?
And t raised to n minus 1.
Exactly, and t raised the power n minus 1. Okay, so let's solve some very easy questions over this concept. Suppose x is equals to t square. Okay, in any problem it comes x is equals to t square. Then what is the value of dx over dt? What is the value of dx over dt? Can you tell me the answer?
And I mean 2 n
Here,
sorry 2t raised to 2 minus 1.
2 minus 1. Very good. Then answer is your 2t. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Next part. Another question. Suppose I'm giving a question here. X is equals to t cube plus t square. So here, what is the value of this differentiation? Dx over dt. Okay. So here 5. Okay. It's just dx over dt. So first differentiate this and differentiate this. So formula is same. Here t raised the power 3. So you can write 3 t raised the power 3 minus 1 and plus 2 t raised the power 2 minus. Is it clear?
Okay.
So this is the method. So here you get the answer t 3t square plus 2t. Okay. Now next problem.
Just a minute, I'll write this down.
Take a note. Should I scroll up?
No, it's okay. Yeah, this is fine. Okay, I'm done.
Okay. So next question is again for differentiation. Suppose I'm given here x is equals to t square plus 2t plus 2. Okay. And you have to find what is the value of dx over dt. Dx over dt. Now try to solve it and give me the answer. So here 3 part t square plus 2t and plus 2.
Two t raised to 2 minus 1 plus 2t raised to 2 minus 1 plus 2.
Okay, so correct it. So here t has a power 2 and here t has a power 1 and here there is no t. So we can write it t raised to the power 0. Is there any problem? You can write it.
No. Okay.
So here the first part 2 comes with the product 2 into t raised to the power 2 minus 1. Okay, plus 1 into 2 into t raised to the power 1 minus 1 plus 2 into t raised to the power, here is 0. Okay, here is basically 0. So here what you have to do, 0 will come and here and 0 minus 1. Is it clear? 2 into 0 is not 20.
Yes.
2 multiplied with 0 because here t raised to the power 0. Because t raised to the power 0 is 1 basically. Na? So this in this part you will get the answer 2t plus and here 1 into 2 t raised to the power 1 minus 1 that will cancel out to t raised to the power 0 2t plus 2 plus 0. So your answer is 2t plus 2. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. So now I think you are familiar with the differentiation. So now we can do the problem based on this instantaneous concept.
So, sir, every time a t will not have a power, the answer is going to be 0.
Exactly. Yeah. Always. Or so you can write the differentiation of constant value or numeric term or number is 0. Okay. So whenever if you are differentiating a number, then it will be a 0. Okay.
Okay.
So let's do a question on this concept that how question will appear in your exam on differentiation part. Okay. The question is the displacement of a particle. The displacement of a particle. The displacement of a particle moving along x-axis. Moving along x-axis is given by x is equals to 18t plus 5t square. Okay, then calculate first part, the instantaneous velocity, instantaneous velocity at t is equals to 2 seconds. Okay, first part. So let's try to solve this problem. The first part. Okay. So here x is given. X is equals to 18t solution. This is the solution of first part. X is equals to 18t plus 5t square. Okay. So do you remember what is the formula for instantaneous velocity? So v is equals to what I told, dx over dt. Okay, dx over dt. Okay. So here, what is the value of dx over dt for this function? X is equals to 18t plus 5t square. So v is equals to dx over dt. So that will be dx over dt. So it's a 5t raised to the power 2. So here you will get 5 into 2 into t and plus here 18t raised to the power 1. So here you will get 18 into here 2 minus 1 and here t raised to the power 1 minus 1. So here what you will get 5 into 2 10 10t plus 18. Is it clear? Hello?
Yes.
And here given at t is equals to 2 seconds. Okay. So this is function basically, and here you have to find the velocity at t is equals to 2 seconds. So put t is equals to 2 here. So 10 into 2 plus 18. So that is basically 20 plus 18, and that is your 38 meter per second. Okay. So this is the solution of first part. The instantaneous velocity at t is equals to 2 seconds. Okay.
Okay.
Now next part is the average velocity. The average velocity. Now next part of this question is find the average velocity. Average velocity for t is equals to 2 to t is equals to 3 seconds. In a given interval, in a given time interval, t is equals to 2 to t is equals to 3 seconds. What is the average velocity? So the formula for average velocity, what is the formula for average velocity? Is the change in position coordinate, change displacement divided by time. So V average is basically x2 minus x1 divided by t2 minus t1. Okay. And what is the value of x2? What is the value of x2? Means x at t2. Okay. X at t2. So means x2 here is 18. What is t2? Here t1 is 2 and t2 is 3. 18 into 3 plus 5 into 3 ka square. Okay, so this is your x2. And what is the value of x1? X1 is 18 into 2 plus 5 into 2 square. Okay, so this is your x2 and x1. Is it clear or you have any doubt? Hello, do you have any doubt or is it clear to you?
How is x 18?
18, okay. So I am repeating this thing. Ask me if you have any doubt, then ask. I will try to clear. Okay. So as you know, the value of x is 18t plus 5t square as mentioned in question. Okay. So here the average velocity, you have to find average between this time t1 to t2. So what is the value of x2? Means x2 means it's a position at time t2. And what is t2? We are 3 seconds. So it means you have to, what is the value of x2 is 18 t2 plus 5 t2 square. So 18 into what is the value of t2 is 3 plus 5 into 3 the square. Is it clear now?
Yes, it's clear.
Now same you can find the x1. X1 is 18 t1 plus 5 t1 square, and that is basically 18 into 3. Sorry, it's t1 is 2. So 18 into 2 plus 5 into 2 raised to the power square. So this value is basically 99. I'm giving the answer, and this value is basically 81. So now the average velocity, now you can find the average velocity. It's 91 minus 81 divided by t2 is 3 seconds minus 2 seconds. Okay, so this will be your answer, which is 43 meter per second. Okay.
Okay.
So in this problem, we basically find out what is the value if a function, if a position, if your displacement is a function of time, is like 18t plus 5t square, then you can find the instantaneous and average velocity. Okay. Now, one more question I will do on this
Wait
concept.
a minute, sorry. I need to
Okay,
copy the last part.
Okay, sure. Second part. Take a note.
I'm done.
Okay. So one more problem on this concept is write a question. Question is question is the displacement of a particle varies with time. The displacement of a particle varies with time t as x is equals to 4t square minus 15t plus 25. Okay, so you have to find the velocity. Find the velocity at t is equals to 0. At t is equals to 0. Okay, velocity means here instantaneous velocity. Whenever there is written only velocity, then you always consider it as instantaneous velocity. Okay, now try to solve it, then I will discuss. Okay, now try to solve it by yourself. Give it 2 minutes and tell me whatever you get the answer. So you have to find the velocity, then I will give you one more part of this problem, but first try to find the velocity, because it's the same as previous question, the first part of previous question.
$25.
25.
Yes.
25. Okay, so let me solve. So here x is a 4t square plus 5t plus 25. So you have to find the basically v. Solution, you have to find what is the value of v. Okay, so as you know, the velocity is dx over dt. Okay, dx over dt. So you have to differentiate this x, you have to differentiate this x. So if you differentiate this x, then what happened here? 4 and t raised the power 2, then what happened? 2 will come out here and t raised the power 2 minus 1. Okay, is it clear? First part, and again minus 15, here t raised the power 1, then 1 come in multiplication and t raised the power 1 minus 1. And here again it's a number, and as we discussed, the differentiation of a number is always 0. Okay, because here t raised the power 0 and 0 will come.
The answer would be 0.
Let me discuss. So here plus 25 into 0 into t raised the power 0 minus 1. So here you will get 4 into 2 is basically 8 t raised the power 1 minus 15 into t raised the power 0, that is basically 1, and plus 0. So here the velocity, you will get velocity at 8t minus 15. 8t minus 15. Okay, 8t minus 15. Okay, so and it's saying that velocity at t is equals to 0. So here you put velocity at t is equals to 0, put here t is equals to 0 minus 15. So answer is minus 15 meter per second. Okay, so the answer is minus 15 meter per second. Okay.
Okay.
So this is the part. And next, one more problem on this problem. Find the acceleration at t is equals to 0. Find. So this is your function of velocity. Remember, this is a function of velocity, and this is the velocity at particular time t is equals to 0. Okay, and when somebody asks, what is the velocity at? What is the velocity at t is equals to 1? So in this case, you have to put v at t is equals to 1. Okay, so v at t is equals to 1 is nothing but 8 into 1 minus 15. So in this case, the answer is 8 minus 15, which is minus 7. Okay, so the answer will change with time, but the function is this. This is the actual function, and the value changes with time because v is a function of time. One more problem on this concept is find the acceleration at t is equals to 0 second. Acceleration. Okay, so remember, what is the formula for acceleration? Acceleration is a is equals to dv by dt. A is equals to dv by dt, and here v is here. This is your v. So you have to differentiate this v. Now try to solve it. You just have to differentiate this function v. Okay. Remember, if you are interested to find acceleration, then you have to differentiate the v part, the value of v, and if you are finding velocity, then you have to differentiate x. These two concepts are here. Okay, so velocity is given. If you are trying to find acceleration, then you have to differentiate the velocity part. Done, or you are facing trouble?
Is the answer minus 15 again?
Okay, let me solve it. So here v, as I told, v is equals to, that is the value of v is equals to 80 minus 15, and you have to differentiate this 80 minus 15. So when you differentiate, then here t raised the power 1, so 8 into 1 into t raised the power 1 minus 1, and here 15 is a number. 15 is a number, so differentiation of any number will give you answer 0, minus 0. Okay, is it clear?
Yes.
Because 15 will vanish, and here t raised the power 1, so 1 will come in the multiplication part. So here 1 into t raised the power 1 minus 1. So here t raised the power 1 minus 1. So here t raised the power 0, which is basically 1. So a is equals to 8. A is equals to 8 meter per second square. Is it clear?
Yes.
Then take a note. Okay.
Yes, I'm done.
Okay, next part I'm going to discuss what are kinematic equation for uniformly accelerated motion. Kinematic equation. Kinematic equation for uniformly accelerated motion. Okay, so kinematic equations for uniformly accelerated motion are we also called equation of motion. And here the important point is this, that here we are only considering the uniform accelerated motion. Uniform means here A is always constant. A is always your constant. Uniform acceleration means the acceleration is not changing. So in this case, the first point is that A is your constant. Or you can say uniform, it's not changing its value. Okay. So there are basically three equation of kinematic equation, and we include one more. So there are basically total 4 kinematic equation. Okay. So I'm writing what are these 4 kinematic equation. So first equation is V is equals to U plus AT. First equation is V is equals to U plus AT. These equations are very useful because you can find by knowing some parameter, only initial velocity. By knowing some parameter, you can find actually a lot of variables. So here V is equals to U plus AT is your first equation. Here V is a final velocity. What is V? Final velocity. Final velocity. We will do some problem, then you will get very familiar with this equation. And U is basically initial velocity. Initial velocity. Okay. So this is your first equation. Now next equation is equation number 2, which is V square is equals to U square. Okay. This is basically, we consider it third. The second is basically S is equals to UT plus half AT square. Okay. And here S is displacement. S is displacement. And again, U is, what is U? U is initial velocity. U is initial velocity. I'm not writing T because T is, you know what is, it's a time. Initial velocity. And A is acceleration, which is constant. Okay. Acceleration. Okay, this is your second equation of motion. V is equals to U plus AT, S is equals to UT plus half AT square. Now third, do you remember what is third equation? Third equation is V square is equals to U square plus
AT.
2AS.
Yes, sorry, 2S.
Okay. So here again, S is displacement, V is your basically final velocity, and U is initial velocity. Okay. And there is one more equation which we call it's this nth second, displacement in nth second. Is a displacement in nth second is we called U plus A by 2.
What is nth second?
Let me explain you what is nth second. So it basically gives you idea about, suppose a particle start its journey. Okay. In 1 second, it covers this distance. In second, it covers this distance. Second. And in third second, it covers this distance. In fourth second, this covers this distance. So this is the total displacement in nth second. Okay. It is the distance covered in nth second, or you can say displacement in nth second. Okay. So
okay.
Nth second. No. Okay. So this is a formula. Basically, these are equations of motion 1, 2, 3, and this is another formula which we use to find actually net actual displacement. So it's nth second. Okay. It will give you the displacement in a particular time, in a particular instant of time. You know, first second, third second. No. Similarly, nth second formula. If you put n is equals to 1, then it's for first second. And if you put n is equals to 2, we will do a problem that will be more explain, we will get the complete explanation of this formula by doing a numerical on this. Okay.
Okay.
So let's do a problem on this concept, on this equation of motion. Then it will be very clear. A problem. The first question is, a Z plane starts from rest. A Z plane starts from rest. Okay, with an acceleration 3 meter per second square. Okay, and makes a run for 35 seconds. Before taking off. Okay, what is the minimum length of the runway? What is the minimum length of the runway? What is the minimum length of runway and what is the velocity of the jet plane, and what is the velocity of the jet? What is the velocity of the jet at takeoff? Okay, so this is the problem. Now let me explain what is this problem, then you can easily solve it. Okay, so it says that a jet plane starts from rest. First point, first clue to solve this problem is the plane starts from rest. Okay, so when a plane starts from rest, okay. So here point A, so it's at rest. So what is the value of initial velocity, which is u, is basically 0 here. Okay, initial velocity, initially it starts from rest. So whenever you find written in any problem, it starts from rest, then you consider initial velocity as 0. First point. Okay. Okay. And with an acceleration 3 meter per second square, it starts from rest, and with the acceleration is given 3 meter per second square, and makes a run for 35 seconds. And it makes a run for 35 seconds. T is equals to 35 seconds. Okay, before taking off. What is the minimum length of the runway? So before taking off, so suppose here A to B, after that it flies up. Okay, so it asking what is the length, what is this length, means the displacement by this plane. So you have to find displacement yani S, you have to find S. And in second part, and what is the velocity of jet at takeoff? So what is the final velocity? V. These two parts you have to calculate. What is given? You know in initial velocity, you know acceleration, you know time. Okay. So the formula you have to find S basically. So you can find it. What is the formula for S? S is equals to ut plus half at square. Everything is given, you just have to put the values. Now try to find it. S is equals to ut plus half at square. Now try to find it. What is the value of displacement? Hello, are you doing it or you are facing problem?
No, no, I'm doing it.
Okay, okay.
Is it 2,887.5?
Oh, the answer is too large. So
Yeah.
here s is equals to u is 0. So 0 into 35. The next part is half into acceleration, which is 3. And here t is 35 by square. Okay. So that is simply the answer is 2 into 3 into 35 into 35. And that is basically the answer is 1837.5 meter. Okay. Is it clear? Simple calculation.
Okay.
Okay. So next part is you have to find the velocity of this jet, the final velocity. Initially, it starts from 0, and before taking off the final velocity, so you can use this formula: v is equals to u plus at. Okay. You know what is the value of u, you know what is the value of a, and you know what is the value of t. Now give me the answer.
Hundred and five.
Exactly, that's correct. Answer is 105 meter per second. Okay. One more problem in this concept, so that you are able to apply formulas of this equation, motion and kinematic equation.
Yes, actually, earlier I had made some problem in calculation. That's
Okay.
why my answer came out so large.
It's okay. It's okay. No problem. Okay. Main thing is you have idea about concept. Main thing is concept, not is calculation. Okay.
Yes.
So if you have any trouble in concept, then please ask.
Okay.
Okay. Any problem with concept, then you can. I will repeat all the things which I discussed. So one more problem is a racing car. Question is a racing car accelerate on a straight road, accelerates on a straight road from rest. Again, okay, remember this word rest. This will give you information to a speed of 50 meter per second, 50 meter per second in 25 seconds. Okay, find the distance covered in this time. Find the distance covered in this time. Find the distance covered in this time. What is given here? So a racing car accelerates from a straight road from first give 2 minutes, try to solve it by yourself. So here the question asked about s. Give it two minutes, then I will discuss it. Try to solve it. Okay. S. So you know what is the formula for s? S is equals to, as I discussed in previous question. And what are the values here given? By use this data, you have to find what is the distance covered in this time. Are you solving it or are you facing problem?
I'm solving it.
Oh, okay, that's great. Then tell me answer, then I will discuss it. No problem, you can ask any question.
Six 25.
That's very good. Answer is correct. So again, I'm just giving you the solution because so that you can match your concept and the way you solve this question. So here as the formula you used for finding S is ut plus half at square, correct? Here u is 0 because it starts motion from rest, and you don't know what is A, but you have idea about t, which is 25 seconds. So first you have to find what is A. So for that you use your formula V is equals to u plus at, because you know what is the value of V. So here you used V, which is 50, and A into T is 25. So from here you calculated A is equals to 2 meter per second square. Is it correct? Okay. And now you just have to find S, which is half at square, and you know all this value, which is half into A. The value of A is 2, and the value of T is basically 50 square. So from here you will get the answer to 625 meter per sorry, only meter, because it's a distance. Okay, is it okay?
Yes.
One more question. It is for retardation. Next question. A bullet traveling with a velocity, a bullet traveling with a velocity of 16 meter per second penetrates a tree, penetrates a tree and comes to rest in 0.4 meter. Find the time taken during the retardation. Find the time taken during the retardation. Okay, here the retardation means bullet, here the acceleration is basically negative, because when bullet penetrates in a tree, then its velocity start decreasing, and after few seconds it will stop. Okay, so here the velocity which is given is not final velocity. Okay, so this velocity is basically initial velocity. So in the retardation problem, you always velocity which is given is initial velocity 16 meter per second. Okay, and what is the final velocity, which is V? Can you tell me what is the final velocity?
0.
0, because it's come in the rest finally. And what's the distance is traveled is given, which is S is equals to 0.4 meter. Okay. And you have to find what is the value of T. So you can find it. You can apply the formula, which is V is equals to U plus AT. But here the problem is you don't know what is the value of A. So to find the value of A, you can apply another formula.
Sir, wasn't retardation dv by dt?
Retardation is dV by dt. Okay, dv by dt is acceleration. Okay, so when acceleration is negative,
Also, when acceleration is decreasing, it's retardation.
yeah, velocity is decreasing.
Sorry, yeah, velocity.
Velocity is decreasing, then we call it retardation. है ना?
And if velocity is increasing,
Okay, I'm saying if velocity is increasing, then acceleration is positive, and this we called acceleration. Okay, and velocity is decreasing, then in this case acceleration is negative. Acceleration is negative, and that is we call retardation. Okay.
okay,
And if acceleration is positive, then we called, okay, this is normal acceleration. But if
okay,
acceleration is negative, means velocity is decreasing, then we call this is a retardation or deceleration. Okay, so I'm removing it because I need some space to solve this problem. So here, you know, it's a retardation concept. The acceleration must be negative. But you have to find what is the value of acceleration. So you have to use another formula, and which is you can use this formula: v square is equals to u square plus 2s. Why I'm using this formula? You can ask why you don't use s is equals to ut plus half at square. Huh? I can also use this formula. But problem is we don't know what is time.
yes, we don't know. Time isn't given.
We have to use a formula in which t is not present. So in this case, v is 0. You know what is the value of v? U is 16 square. We don't know a because we are calculating a, and the value of s is 0.4. You can find a from here. Tell me what is the value of a. And by putting this value a in this formula, we can find our t.
V minus u by t.
V minus u by t, basically minus u by t, because v is 0 here. So first, give me the answer of acceleration.
Minus 16 by t, right?
Minus 16 by 2.
T.
Minus 16 by t.
Because we don't know what t is yet.
No. Wait. This is the formula from where we will find t. But first we have to find acceleration. So for finding acceleration, I'm using this formula: v square is equals to u square plus 2s. Here v is 0. And from this equation, okay, I'm calculating.
Oh, okay. Then calculate.
A into 0.4 is equals to minus 16 chi square. And that is will give you minus 16 into 16 divided by 2 into 0.4. Okay, now try to find this value. It's easy. You can tell me the answer, tell me the acceleration first. Then we can find our time. The time at which bullet will stop inside the tree.
$320.
Exactly. Minus 320. Minus 320 meter per second square. Okay. So now if you find your acceleration, so here the above formula, let me change the color. Okay, so blue one. So by using this formula, you can find the t. So v is equals to u plus at. Here v is 0 is equals to u plus at. So from here you can find a is equals to minus u. Sorry, we have to find t. Wait a minute. So at is equals to minus u. So t is equals to minus u by a. And we know the value of u is minus 16 and the value of a is minus 320. So negative negative cancel out, and this is like 16 divided by 20, 1 over 20, which is 0.05 second. In 0.05 second, the bullet will stop inside the tree. Okay. Okay, is it clear?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay, now we used all three equations. One equation remains, the nth equation. So let's solve a problem on that equation. Then we will complete this kinematic equation part. Okay. Next problem, one more problem. And after solving this problem, I will over my lecture, today's lecture. So the problem is a body covers 12 meter in second, let me write second like this, second, okay, and 20 meter in fourth second. Okay, how much distance it will cover in fifth second? How much distance it will cover in fifth second? How much distance it will cover in fifth second? Okay, so formula for nth second is S nth is equals to u plus a by 2 into twice n minus 1. This is a formula for nth second. Now in our first part, the given distance is like for second. So S second is equals to u plus a by 2 into 2 into 1. What is the value of n here? 2. Second, nth, n is here. So you just have to write the number of second in place of n minus 1. So what is your equation? And the distance covered in second is 12 meter. So it is equal to 12. So what is your equation? It's u plus a by 2, 2 2s are 4 minus 1, 3 equal to 12. So first equation is u plus 3a by 2 is equals to 12. This is equation number 1. Okay. Any trouble, any doubt up to now? Hello?
Where did the t go from the formula?
T nth.
Oh, so we bring
Nth, na?
no. The Sn is equal to ut. So where did the t go from ut? We won't be writing the seconds.
S is equals to ut plus half at square. This is the actual displacement. No? This is a total displacement by a particle. But this is a different formula. Okay, this is a different formula. Okay. The derivation is not important for you. It's not in your syllabus. It's a direct formula which is useful for you. Okay, so this is a different formula. It is a distance covered in a particular second, in first second, in a second, in a third second. Okay, this is a different formula. This is a different formula.
Okay.
And this is not t. I think it's a plus sign.
Yeah, I must have quit for t.
No, it's u plus It's a different formula. So this is the problem on different formula. So it second you just have to put n is equals to 2 and all, we don't know what is u and a. The task of doing this problem is basically to measure u and a. If you find u and a, then you can find distance covered in any second. You just have to put n is equals to 1 2 3 4 5, but for that you have to you have an idea about u and a. So this is a task. For that we are solving this problem. Now next part of this problem, the given part is like 20 meter in 4 seconds. So S4 is equals to u plus a by 2 into 2 into 4 minus 1. Okay, that will give you u plus a by 2, 8 minus 1, and the value is given is 20 meter. So now next equation is u plus 7a by 2 is equals to 20. So now you have two equations. The first equation is u plus 3a by 2 is equals to 12, and this is second equation. Now you can solve these two equations, then you will get u and a, and by finding this u and a, you can find the S5th, distance covered in 5th second. Okay, so now next part, you have to solve these equations so that you can find the value of u and v. So here u, first equation is u plus 3a by 2 is equals to 12. Next equation you find u plus 7a by 2 is equals to 20. Subtract these two equations, subtraction. So here you will cancel out, and here you will get minus 7a by 2 minus 7a by 2 plus 3a by 2 is equals to minus 20 plus 12. So from here you can find out what is the value of a. It's a 7 minus 3. Okay, 7 minus 3 is 4a by 2. It's a minus, and again here is minus 8. So 2 2s are 4, minus cancel out. The value of a is 4 meter per second square. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
And what is the value of u? If you put the value of a in any of the equation, then you can find u. So u plus 3 into the value of a I put here, 4 by 2 is equals to 12. So 2 2s are 4. So here u plus 6 is equals to 12. So here the value of u is equals to 6 meter per second. Now you know the value of a and you know the value of u. So now you can find as fifth second is u plus a by 2 to n minus 1. Here what is the value of n is 5, and you know what is value of u and a, so you can directly find u 6 plus 4 by 2 into 2 into 5 minus 1. So this is the answer. 6 plus 2 2s are 4. So 2 into 5 2s are 10 minus 1, which is 9. That is 6 plus 18. Okay, 6 plus 18, that is basically 24 meter. Okay, should I scroll up so that you can take note?
No, I've already taken them.
Okay, you already taken them. So this is all about this kinetic equation or equation. Try to study today's notes. If you have any trouble, then I will discuss it again in our next lecture. If you have any query, any trouble, then you can ask in our next lecture. I will repeat this. I will do one more problem over this last nth concept. Okay, I think it's okay.
Okay.
So I'm stopping here. Okay.
All right.
Okay.